So, Google just launched a dedicated experiment updates to its BARD AI, opening a wide range of features to early adopters, some of whom have suggested that the super advanced chatbot could even outperform ChatGPT.
It's hard to make an idea come to life when the information you need is in different places. But now, you can collaborate with the world's information and your own, all in one place with BARD.
In today's video, I'll tell you everything you need to know about the new BARD update and show you a few examples. Including how it allows you to upload a random image and request YouTube video recommendations, flight duration information, and estimated ticket prices from your location to the destination in the image. Google BARD AI is a conversational neural network-based AI chatbot that can understand and generate human-like text. Essentially, a neural network is a machine learning model that's designed to process data like a human. While BARD is only still in its experimental phase, it has shown great qualities and features similar to those of ChatGPT. For instance, BARD has the ability to craft articles, letters, poems, and other creative written content with the same expertise as that of a seasoned writer. In addition, it can process high-volume data and take on complex tasks like programming. The BARD AI chatbot was initially powered by a lightweight version of the language model for dialogue applications, popularly called Lambda. This particular version was trained on 1.56 trillion words with 136 billion parameters. In the early stages, it seemed like this large language model, LLM, was the perfect fit for BARD, especially because it's lightweight and highly scalable. But following subsequent upgrades, Google has introduced PaLM 2 as the new LLM for the chatbot to improve efficiency. Trained on 3.6 trillion words and 340 billion parameters, PaLM 2 is regarded as Google's most sophisticated LLM. Critically, the PaLM 2 large language model enhances the ability of BARD to generate more accurate responses.
PaLM 2 models are stronger in logic and reasoning thanks to broad training on scientific and mathematical topics. It's also trained on multilingual text, spanning over 100 languages, so it understands and generates nuanced results.
PaLM 2 models are stronger in logic and reasoning thanks to broad training on scientific and mathematical topics. It's also trained on multilingual text spanning over 100 languages, so it understands and generates nuanced results. Powered by this new large language model, BARD AI has also been optimized to feature a host of brilliant new features to wow users. Personally, I think the new integration feature is one of the most useful attributes Google added to BARD AI with this upgrade, because it allows the chatbot to seamlessly connect with a wide range of Google applications and services, including Google Drive, Gmail, Google Docs, YouTube, Google Maps, and more. Speaking about this latest upgrade and how the interaction between BARD and other Google applications will work, Sissy Xiao, said the general manager for Google Assistant, "These services in conjunction with one another are very, very powerful. Bringing all the power of these tools together will save people time. In 20 seconds, in minutes, you can do something that would have taken maybe an hour or more. With this feature, BARD will be able to access and summarize written content from your drive. So, for instance, I asked BARD to make a summary of the script for me, and here's what the chatbot replied. As you can see from the first paragraph, the summary captures the main theme of the script. Google has released a new update for its BARD AI chatbot, which includes several new features and improvements. In the second sentence, it highlights the role of the PaLM 2 large language model in the efficiency of BARD and how the new upgrade enables the chatbot to generate more accurate and informative responses. If you recall, that's one of the things I spoke about earlier in this video, but what really caught my attention in this summary is that BARD listed out some of the new features I mentioned in the video in bullet points. I mean, this really blew my mind away because these features are the heart and soul of the video, and BARD was able to highlight and explain them in a way that anyone can easily understand. Aside from summarizing content from your drive, the BARD chatbot can also help to craft application letters, resume, email responses, find map directions, and relevant YouTube suggestions. So, for instance, here, I asked the chatbot to draft an application for someone looking to land a role as a YouTube scriptwriter, and honestly, I was really impressed with the response. To save time, I won't be able to go over the letter word for word, but I just highlight some of the parts that impressed me the most, starting with the first paragraph. Within the first paragraph alone, the chatbot was able to express interest in the role while also listing some of the applicant's strongest qualities. Perhaps more importantly, A tiny section of the paragraph was also dedicated to highlighting the experience of the applicant. And we can all agree that these are some of the tiny important bits that make up a good application letter. Next up, I asked BARD to craft a resume for a YouTube scriptwriter, and the result was just as impressive. For our next example, I asked the BARD AI chatbot to dig out the last email I received from Google Bard. Coincidentally, it was an email informing me about the new BARD update. As you can see, the chatbot included the title and the date I received the email. But I felt like this was an easy task, so I decided to ask a follow-up question requesting that the chatbot write a response to this email. Again, the result was mind-blowing. Thank you for the email about the new BARD model, extensions, and more. I am excited to learn about all of the new features and capabilities. I am particularly interested in the new extensions, which allow me to customize BARD to my specific needs. I am currently working on a project that involves generating creative text formats, and I think the extensions will be very helpful. I am also excited about the new model, which is faster and more accurate than before. I am sure that this will make BARD even more useful for a variety of tasks. Obviously, I have no intention of replying to the mail, but if I did, this would have been a perfect response. For the next example, I input a picture of the Eiffel Tower and asked BARD to show me relevant videos about the image. As you can see from the clip on your screen, I didn't explicitly describe what the image contains, but it was able to identify that I was searching for relevant videos about the Eiffel Tower and recommended 5 videos from reputable YouTube channels. To further stretch things a bit, I asked BARD for the flight duration and typical cost of flying from Los Angeles to the location in the picture. Again, I didn't mention that the location in the picture was the Eiffel Tower in Paris. However, BARD was able to provide a good response to my query. It says, the flight duration from Los Angeles to Paris is around 16 hours and 57 minutes. The typical cost of a round-trip flight from Los Angeles to Paris is around 540,418 naira. Under this response, the chatbot gives a list of departing flights from Los Angeles and their prices, which makes the response even more robust. Perhaps the only thing wrong with this answer was that I asked for the flight cost in dollars, but BARD gave me the price in my local currency, which is naira. And that could be a good thing, because it saves me the stress of converting figures. But just in case you're wondering, the 540,418 naira flight cost from LA to Paris is equivalent to around $550 at the time of making this video. The ability to perform tasks like this means that BARD can literally deputize as your personal assistant. In a recent statement, Google confirms that this innovation is the first step in a fundamentally new capability for BARD, the ability to talk to other apps and services to provide more helpful responses. As expected, the new integration feature carries some form of risk, especially in terms of privacy. However, Google insists that the content accessed by BARD AI will not be used for targeted ads purposes or to train the model. Also, the extension can be turned off at any time, and all the pictures uploaded to the chatbot will be wiped off as soon as the user deletes their history. Another feature that comes up with the new BARD upgrade is the double check option. Essentially, this intuitive feature allows users to probe the answers provided by the chatbot. So, for instance, I asked BARD for the name of the tallest mountain in the world, and it returned an answer as expected. But let's say if I don't trust this particular answer. I could simply hit the Google logo right here, and after a few seconds, BARD AI will provide sources to each section of the answer, just as you can see on your screen. In this case, BARD references National Geographic as its source. Google says this feature was introduced to fix the issue of hallucinations. Basically, hallucination in AI is when a chatbot or tool confidently presents an answer or statement that is not based on fact to the user. We're constantly working on reducing those hallucinations in BARD. The general manager for Google Assistant Sissy Xiao said, but in the meantime, the company wanted to create a way to address them. You can think of it as a spell check, but double checking the facts. So, if BARD returns an answer you're not sure about, you can simply ask it to fact check itself. As an aside, Google has also introduced a new feature that allows users to share a conversation they've had with the chatbot with another person. Essentially, what this means is that I could start a chat with BARD, and if I get busy along the way, I could easily just share the chat with my assistant, who can continue from where I stopped. I tried it on my own, and the process was seamless. In case you're wondering how, all you need to do is scroll to the bottom of your query and click on the Share and Export button. Click on the Share again and create a public link, then copy the link. Once you have the link copied, you can send it to someone else to continue the chat as long as there's a Google Bard account signed in on their computer. But that's not all. Unlike the free version of ChatGPT, BARD accepts inputs in different formats other than text, including audio and images. What's even more interesting is that users can also switch between any of these formats at any point during the conversation. Another upgrade that's worth talking about is the BARD's language feature, which has been improved to support over 40 languages across 230 countries and territories. For this demonstration, I asked BARD to write me a poem in 3 different languages other than English, and the chatbot responded by writing a short poem in French, Spanish, and Chinese. And if you look below the Chinese version of the poem, you'll see that the chat also provides the English translation. This is quite interesting because, as you know, the earlier iteration of the chatbot only supported US or UK English. But thanks to this new upgrade, BARD AI will be able to receive inputs and provide answers in other languages, like Chinese, German, French, Hindi, Spanish, Italian, and many other languages. That's some huge improvements for the experimental chatbot, which launched a few months ago in March 2023. And it's scary to imagine some of the things that this chatbot will be able to do in the coming months and years. And if you like this video, check this one out too.